Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so when you think about the Philippines, it's usually, amazing beaches, great people, a real paradise. But today, we're going to look at something a bit tougher for travelers there, this ongoing problem of airport crime. We'll get into everything from pretty bold luggage thefts and scams that can fool anyone, right up to some really concerning insider stuff like smuggling. Our goal? Just to lay out what's happening, share some real stories, look back at those big cases, and most importantly, give you some solid safety tips. Because let's face it, when you're somewhere new, knowing what is your best defense.
It really is, and you definitely need that defense. We're mainly talking about big hubs like Ninoy Aquino International Airport, NAIA, in Manila. I saw a report, Philippine Star, I think, from 2024, saying it handles over 40 million passengers a year.
Wow, 40 million, that's huge.
Exactly. And that sheer volume, that constant movement, it creates, well, kind of a perfect storm for criminals. You've got the crowded terminals, obviously, but also those long queues where your attention gets pulled away, people are tired, jet lagged.
Distracted, yeah.
Totally distracted. Plus, language barriers for some, not knowing local laws, or even just the way things work. It's an environment that's just ripe for exploitation.
Mhm.
And tourists, especially OFWs, overseas Filipino workers coming home, and foreign visitors, they're often the main targets. We
Yeah.
see a lot of theft, laptops, passports, cash disappearing. Then there are the scams, people pretending to be staff, and even really serious security issues like smuggling operations. A key thing here is a lot of this stuff probably doesn't even get reported. People are stressed, they just want to leave it behind.
Right, they just want to get on with their trip or get home.
Precisely. But that underreporting, it's a big blind spot. It lets these things keep happening, makes it hard for authorities to even know the real scale of it. And like an Inquirer article pointed out in 2023, it really hurts the Philippines' image as a destination.
That cycle is, yeah, it's pretty chilling. And it brings us to those personal stories you mentioned, like Vanjo Morano's family gifts, the pasalubong being stolen, or Sarah losing her laptop so fast. They really put a human face on it, don't they? So let's start there with theft. Luggage theft is, well, probably top of mind for many travelers. There was that Vanjo Morano YouTube vlog in 2023, Pad Trips at Pilipinas. He got like 2.2 million views.
Huge numbers.
Yeah. He talked about his family stuff, including those pasalubong, the gifts people bring back being stolen from their checked bags, right at NAIA baggage claim after flying in from the U.S. And it's not just checked luggage. I talked to someone, Sarah, who had her laptop swiped from her carry-on right at the security checkpoint at NAIA. She said, literally, I turned away for a second and it was gone.
Yeah, Sarah's story, unfortunately, isn't unique. It's that speed, like you said, but also just that split second where you're vulnerable. Thieves look for that. And while we're focused on NAIA, airport theft is, well, it's a global thing. Travel and Leisure wrote about it in 2025, thieves hitting people when they're distracted or even asleep on the plane. But NAIA does have this reputation, specifically for luggage tampering. There was a TripAdvisor post in 2023 telling people, look, keep valuables in your carry-on and watch that bag like a hawk during the x-ray scan. And it's not just the money, is it? It's the emotional hit. Losing gifts meant for family. That's rough.
Absolutely rough. Okay, so that's theft. But then there's this other level, the deception, the scams. People probably remember the Tanamala thing, billet planting, that hit NAIA hard around 2015, 2016.
Oh, yeah, that was massive
It
news.
was unbelievable. Security staff accused of actually planting bullets in bags to extort money because having a bullet is illegal there. Victims, like that American missionary, Lane Michael White, were told to pay up sometimes like 30,000 darrow or face arrest.
30,000 pesos. That's a lot of money.
A huge amount. And what made it worse was the conflicting numbers. The National Police said 30 cases in 2015, but the airport authority claimed only 5. It caused this massive public anger. White's dad even called the airport corrupt.
Yeah, that Tanambala scandal, it just shattered trust. And it shows how airport crime isn't always straightforward theft, it's manipulation. You also get other common scams, like fake taxi drivers jacking up fares. I saw a Reddit post in 2022 about a tourist paying triple.
Wow.
Or touts pretending to be official tour operators. They target people who are jet-lagged, confused, grab cash or info. An Inquirer piece in 2023 mentioned pastilla scams too, basically bribes for immigration stuff and taxi fraud, pointing out that even locals get targeted. It's calculated exploitation, really.
Exploiting vulnerability. And then, maybe even more disturbing, is when the threat comes from inside, from the people supposed to be providing security. Remember that 2023 incident at NAIA? A security officer caught on camera swallowing $300 he'd stolen from a passenger, claimed it was chocolate.
I remember seeing that video. Unbelievable.
Right. The Straits Times, Rappler, they both covered it. And it was the third theft like that by NAIA staff that year, swallowing money,
Mm-hmm.
claiming it's chocolate. I mean, the audacity is
It's
just too big.
staggering. But it points to that insider problem, exactly.
And there was another case, right, an officer fired for stealing chocolates from luggage. It suggests a pattern.
It absolutely does. And these individual acts, they hint at wider, maybe systemic weaknesses, like that 2024 Aerotime report about a smuggling ring at NAIA, insiders using fake IDs, secret methods. It apparently ran for months before being stopped.
Months.
Yeah, that it could go on that long suggests, some serious gaps in oversight. Globally, insider threats are a constant airport worry. Think about drones smuggling into prisons in the U.S. HS Today reported on that in 2024. Similar risks exist at airports. In the Philippines, maybe issues like lax oversight or corruption, something a 2025 Reuters report touched on regarding cyber threats, just make these vulnerabilities worse.
So when you put all this together, theft, scams, insider issues, it really shows how tough it can be for travelers. NAIA is just so busy, right? Over 100,000 people a day in 2023. Trying to stay vigilant in that chaos is hard work.
Extremely hard.
And if you don't speak the language, that adds another whole layer of difficulty trying to figure things out, who to trust. Even official travel advisories, like the 2025 Smart Traveler one, warn travelers to use a high degree of caution at airports there.
And think about the victims. What happens after? They often feel pretty helpless. Reporting a crime involves bureaucracy, maybe in a language you don't know well. So a lot of people, like Sarah with her laptop, they might just decide it's not worth the hassle. They just want to move on.
Which is understandable, but also means the problem persists.
Exactly. And beyond the hassle, there's that emotional impact. Your trip's messed up, your trust is gone. I remember seeing a TripAdvisor post from 2019 about a family finding their Balikbayan box torn open at NAIA. For anyone who doesn't know, those boxes are packed with gifts, things people worked hard for to send home. It's deeply personal. Having that violated, it's incredibly upsetting. What should be a happy arrival turns into anxiety.
It really paints a picture.
Yeah.
So, okay, things clearly need to change. Have there been efforts? What are authorities doing?
Well, yes, there have been responses. After Tanambala, for instance, NAIA reportedly got better X-ray machines, put up plexiglass barriers around scanners to stop tampering. That was mentioned on TripAdvisor in 2023.
Okay, some physical changes.
Right. And in 2023, the Transportation Secretary, Jaime Bautista, talked about plans to reduce congestion at NAIA and boost security, more cameras, better staff training.
So steps are being taken. But like that Manila Times article hinted, is it enough? Is it really getting to the root of the problem or just, patching things up?
That is the big question. Are these measures consistently enforced? Is it building back real trust? While the authorities work on their side, there's a lot you, as a traveler, can do. It comes down to being proactive.
Okay, so let's get into those practical tips. What should people do?
Right. First, secure your stuff. Think about anti-theft bags, the kind with slash-proof material, locking zippers. Travel and Leisure mentioned those. Keep your absolute valuables, passport, cash, electronics in your carry-on, always. And watch that bag during security checks. Don't get distracted.
Good point about security checks.
Yeah. And stay vigilant generally. Avoid distractions, especially at checkpoints and baggage claim. Someone on TripAdvisor suggested putting small things under bigger items on the X-ray belt, making them harder to grab quickly. Third, know your rights. Get familiar with basic local laws. That helps you avoid scams like Tanambala. If someone accuses you, stay calm, ask for proof, and call your embassy right away.
Okay, crucial advice there. Embassy contact.
Definitely. Fourth, use trusted transport. Don't just grab any taxi outside. Use booking apps like Grab, or go to the official airport taxi counters. Avoids those fare ripoffs people mention on Reddit. And finally, report incidents. I know it's a pain, but reporting theft or scams to the airport police or the aviation security group is important. It helps build a case for more action, holds people accountable.
So to wrap this up then, it's obvious that airport crime in the Philippines, theft, scams, insider stuff, it's a real issue. Needs awareness, needs action. Those big examples, Tanambala, the officer swallowing cash, they really show the weak spots at places like NAIA, places where you should feel safe. And the impact on people like Sarah or Vanjo Morano's family losing their pasalubong, it just underlines why things need to keep improving.
Absolutely. And while authorities are making moves, like we said, a lot rests on you, the traveler. Stay alert, secure your bags, know your rights. But maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. Beyond what individuals can do, and beyond official fixes, what deeper changes, maybe cultural, maybe systemic, might really be needed to rebuild that fundamental trust and safety in such a vital place like an international airport?
That's a really interesting question to think about. We hope this deep dive gives you some useful insights for safer travels, whether you're heading to the Philippines or anywhere else. Maybe reflect on your own airport experiences, good or bad. How does this connect? Keep learning, stay aware. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.